get prepared to start sending our first email out. Now, one of the first things I recommend people do is to create an email template, because you're going to generate a style, a look for your emails. You're going to put some content in there that you're going to have in every email. You may have some social media links, website links, email links, things like that. And if you don't create it as a template, then you've basically got to go in and redesign it every time you want to send a new email out. The other thing is, quite often, if you pick a template, it has some social media icons at the bottom anyway, the default ones, and they don't actually link to anywhere. Like the Facebook one just goes to Facebook, it doesn't go to a particular account, page, or profile. And something I used to do for a long time was forget to change the links in that, and every time I generated a new email, I'd send it out with no social media links. So, you know, I could have been missing out on social media traffic that way. So the best way to do it is to create like a basic template that you use all the time. So what we do is we go into, if we go into templates, we can see any templates we've created. And as you can see, we haven't created any at the moment. So we can create a template up here. Now, there's so many different layouts to choose from. You know, you've got these basic layouts. There's so many themes. We can search for themes, you know, based on our business type. You know, if we're into art or photography, there's a photography section. We can choose a theme from there. You know, with newsletters, there's so many to choose from. You know, and you can pick one of these. So you can code your own template with HTML, paste the code in, or you can actually import a template as well from a zip file. So if you've downloaded a template from somebody, if somebody sent you a template, you can import it there as well. However, there's plenty of different themes to go from that we can edit, and plenty of layouts we can choose from as well. So if you're doing, say, like a standard, like a newsletter, you may want to go for something just like a 1 column or a 1 column full width. Or if you are actually selling products, you may want to go to something like a 3 column template down here. But basically, once you pick a template, you can choose one. We're going to go with the basic 1 column. Quite simply, because we've already decided our logo, it's already put that in place. We do get this link in the top where we can view this email in our browser, if we so wish, and then that people can share that URL with other people, so that they can see the contents of the email as well. So depending what you're sending out in the email, if it's not something you want all eyes to see, you may not want this browser in here, or this link to view it in a browser in here. Generally, I get rid of that, just delete it, and just leave that kind of blank. I've got my logo in here. That is quite small, so I'm going to actually replace that. Okay, so that's better. Although I say it's too wide, yeah. So let's just fix that and make it better. Okay, so if you've defined your logo, we'll load in there. Obviously, if it's not the right size, you know, pick the right image, pick the right size, something like that. As you can see, this template has social footers at the bottom, and these were the ones that I always forgot to change. As you can see, the links are just directly to Twitter or Facebook or to Mailchimp website, so it's not actually going anywhere that's relevant for me. So if people were clicking on those, I'm losing out on traffic. So I am going to set up these links. We'll have an email. We'll have a LinkedIn, and we will have a Instagram. And I'm just going to rearrange them. Okay, cool. And then what you want to do here is put in your links to your profiles or your pages or your groups or whatever. So I think that's my page. I can't remember. Anyway, you want to make sure you put the right links into your profile in these link URLs. Once you've done that, see, that's not right. Okay, once you've done that and saved, yep, you can go on and move and change the rest. This footer section, the information in there, I would probably just leave alone. It's the generic footer information that is pre-filled in by Mailchimp to give all the information that is there that is legally required by law. So I'd leave that alone. You know, it's got the unsubscribe link and the update the preferences link by default, so I'd leave that alone and just leave it and just ignore that section. Okay, obviously you've got this default text section here, and showing you some text and some links. Now what I'd do here is just type something in like body text, and then put in something like hi f name. Now this f name here, this is what's called a merge tag. I will go over that a little bit later on when we actually come to design the email. But basically what that's going to do is going to replace that highlighted section with the first name from the person who's signed up for the form. So you can say, hey John, if it's John, or hey Mary, something like that. And then just change the styles to what you want. You know, you might always do something like where you have you always have a video link in your email, in which case you might have a video setting there. And then you may have some more text if this is your standard sort of layout. And then that could be your sort of standard sort of layout. So when you come to write your email, you know, you always put in your top part of your text, you change that, pick the video that you want to put in, and then put the further text below. And then you know this is set up correctly, you know your logo set up correctly, you know everything that you want in your email that it's always going to be the same is all set up correctly, ready to go. And then we save and close. We can preview it as well. We can actually we can go into a preview mode, or we can actually send an email of this to our own, or to any email address really. It does say that merge tags will not render, so it will say hi fname, but you can actually email this to yourself, so you can actually see how it looks physically in your email inbox, on your phone, you know, stuff like that. You can yeah, you can actually see what it's like. You can go into a preview mode. That will give a generic preview of what it looks like. Obviously, there's no, we haven't actually put a video link in there, hence why it's blank in that section. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how you create a template, and then you can save and exit, give it a name, call it maybe a default template, or let's call it a default newsletter. Save. And there it is in our template section up here. Now it's got a big question mark. What it's doing is actually rendering that as like a preview image. So after a little bit of time, about 5 minutes or so, that will be rendered. And then when you come in here, you will get a small preview of what the template looks like. Let's just see if we can refresh this. Yeah, we'd have to give that time to render. Okay, as you can see, it's generated a it's rendered like an image of the template, so you can see what it looks like. It's only small, but it gives you a rough idea, and it does help you distinguish between other templates as well. So that's it. That's creating a template. And obviously, if you've got different services that you offer or different types of email, you can create different templates from that. Oh, before I go on this module, what we can do is that we can actually go into here. Let's go to edit. Right, let's just go back. Yeah, if we've got something similar, if we want to, let's say we do a different email and it only contains images instead of videos, and that's I would say a weekly email, but you still want the header and the footer to still be the same with all the same information. What we can actually do here is go to replicate, and then we go back to the editor again, and then we change whatever we want to change. So if we want images in there, let's say we put an image group in, then we put the image group in there. Let's just quickly add 4 sample images. Right, they're too small. Let's just quickly upload anything. Yeah, do that. I think that's quite a large image file, actually. That's probably, no, that's not too bad. Okay, I'm just going to use that one. Yeah, that's too wide. But anyway, it doesn't matter for now. Let's just put them in there. It's just a template. So now we've got a slightly different layout. We've got the images instead of the video that we put in there, but we've still got the same logo set up. We've still got the same social links at the bottom, and we've still got the 2 text areas where we can put our text in and change that when we want to. And what we can do is then save and exit. And we can see we've now got 2 templates. This one is called the default template copy 01. We can change the name. Sorry, up here, I should have shown you that before. Rename. And we can call this the default. Let's call it default image template. We've got templates in there. Rename. Save and exit. And yeah, so now we've got 2 templates. So we can create one from another quite easily, so we don't have to go through all that process of setting up all the social links at the bottom again. And now you've got the templates that you need to work on when you're creating emails. Yep, set up the templates that you need, and then they're there ready then, and we can start working on sending our emails out.